Welcome back to In the World with My Smartphone Anime Review, episode number 15. We are reviewing the 24th episode of the series, and it's sadly the final episode of season 2. When I saw it, I'm like, really? We're ending this at the 12 episodes. Why can't it be longer? You have plenty of freaking books. But no, we have to end it at 12 because the first season was 12 episodes. And I pray to God we don't have to wait 5 freaking years for another season. And also, don't switch studios again. Yeah, don't do that again. Because, well, I'll give my final thoughts on the season later, but let's talk about this episode itself. So the episode starts out with Toya, basically the Guardian, and then he's, cornered by his 7 fiancés. Where they're basically wearing outfits that Karen recommended because he mentioned about his first love. Yes, and then he gets reported to, we just found out where the Tower Rampart are. And here you go, Tower Rampart. And he meets the 2 terminals who are here. Yeah, and if you're curious though, for the Rampart, it's Paralora. And as for the tower, that is Pamela Noel. And she is a glutton. Yep. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. This episode comes from basically the rest of chapters 2 and 3 of book 6. So you could kind of say this anime pretty much this whole book is mostly all covered. Yeah, they cover the whole thing. Yeah, and they kind of did so. What they have this later have book 6 first from chapter 3, then they do the second chapter. Well, then of course, after meeting these 2, we see that she's a glutton, so gives her basically a skewered, eats that, and then of course they accept basically the master, so do genetic transfer, kissing him. First it's Pamela and Noel, and then it's Paralora who kisses him for a long freaking time. And after they introduce each other, of course, they're on the mansion. Of course, the Rampart apparently is like a mini castle. Apparently, a dock with a tower, like a little 300 years prior to the series. So that's why both of them are there. So go to the bed, and it is explained why. Okay, we get some explanations in this episode. Right afterwards, the girls go to basically a spring where all the girls are. Well, before we get to that part, and then of course they get informed that, Yamina's mom basically is giving birth to her baby brother. Yep, she's going to birth. And then they cut immediately to Belfast, where she's already given birth. Now, they actually, believe it or not, it is mentioned in the book that the king's brother was in the scene. Sue was there, obviously, but for some reason his brother was not there. I'm like, really, JC Staff? You cut the fact that the uncle was not going to see his nephew? Of course, he does some congratulations for the birth of a second child, who becomes basically the heir of Belfast. They cut a little bit of that out, but basically, I think anybody can tell, with Yamato born, with this baby boy, basically, Toya is not the heir to the throne anymore, it's his kid. And of course, he names him Yamato. Makes total sense. It's a Japanese name, but it makes total sense. Yeah, Yamato's a very strong name anyways. Yep. And it's a very well-respected name in Japan. Especially since the actual guy who originally was named Yamato was, in fact, a well-respected admiral. Though, from the American point of view, come to you with history, he's actually somewhat respected by the U.S. military, somewhat. Despite the fact he planned the Pearl Harbor attack. Yeah, but he also has a shipment after the Japanese love him because they consider him a hero. while some older Americans basically consider him a villain because he planned the Pearl Harbor attack. But I'm not in that crowd, so. And of course, name him, and of course, then they mention, possibly about the 7 girls, possibly 7 kids. And then, of course, you have Toya with all of the turtles. I think they got pretty much almost all at this point in time. Yeah, so they have pretty much everybody here. And of course he mentions, the fact there's going to be 9 wives. Yes, 9 wives, and possibly having 9 children. And of course, basically Toya is like, keep this a secret. And of course, you have you where it comes in. It's like, yeah, and of course, Francesca spills the beans about possibly future wives. Toya is basically not punished for the fact he gets engaged to more wives yet, but he is punished for keeping a secret from him. His punishment is to get all of Kiss. All of them. Yep. So, it's like, but wait, we have fireworks due. Yes, freaking fireworks. Of course we gotta do fireworks. And of course, do the fireworks, and then oh, by the way, I think it's Lens where she's like, yeah, gotta get. She seems to be the most scary one. This one because she's the younger of the 2 sisters. So you have Yamina basically coming here for smooch. We have Sue gets a kiss on the cheek. I think Lou basically gets spooked off. I think that Heidi gets basically passed out. Of course, Lens, I think she gets kissed too. Elsa, after she gets kissed, basically Toya, gets punched by her. You basically flips him over like a judo flip. And of course, by the way, Sakura and Lena there. Basically, the anime has it where we're teasing possibly he might have future with these 2. I'm like, I will spoil it too. He will. Don't worry. So, yeah, and of course, the end with a fireworks moment, just basically episode let's see. I think this is the second time this season they actually ended the episode with a fireworks display. Because I think they did this already this season. A fireworks display. I think it's, because it was right after they introduced, let's see. Oh yeah, it was back in episode 5. Yep, episode 5. And here we are. They do confirm it in the episode that Lean and Sakura will become the future fiancés. They do confirm that here. When? Don't know. Clairvoyance Gem. Yep. But this overall was really good episode. Surprisingly, despite the fact we do finish the book up. Now, I'm going to move my final thoughts on this season because this season covered a lot of material. We started out this season with adapting the final chapter of this book and the interlude in the first episode. Because I thought they finished adapting this book and didn't produce it. But that proved not to be the case. So, this book was finished. In the case, book 4. From what I can tell for this one, they did a pretty good job adapting this. They went through most of it, per se. There's a small portion to cut up, but it wasn't, let's say, hard in the stuff anyways. But this one was definitely finished. Not the case with this one. Nope. They did adapt chapter 1. They adapted chapter 3. But they skipped chapter 2. And anything related to Athena Pope is basically skipped over because they didn't adapt this chapter. Yeah, so they adapted from this very book. They adapted chapter 1, chapter 3, mostly chapter 4. They did have some a little out of order. 6, definitely. Yeah, this book was definitely finished up too. And I was kind of surprised they started adapting book 7 already. But they mostly have a lot from chapter 2. I'd say about half of chapter 2 and portion of chapter 1. Excuse me. So, what were the major cuts this season? Like, what was cut, they just had to cut because apparently they didn't have time to adapt and they wanted to skip over to something else. The theme poem stuff from Chapter 2 and the Country of Yolong. Any mention of them is like excised from the anime. Yeah, it's like anything related to them, it's like they skip it over there for no reason. I'm not really sure why. I'm hoping if they do a season 2, or season 2, season 3, I hope they finish adapting these books. Because, despite the fact, yes, this season went through these books. These 2 were not finished. But these 3 were. Yeah, these 3 were definitely finished. So, this one was a partial adaptation because basically this one almost had burning for the previous season of the show when I originally watched it a few years ago. But also I should mention this too. Now I had started buying this series, like because here, yeah, I own all the books. This one right here. Here's a little fun fact about this 4th book. Did you know this was the very first book I bought for this entire series? Yes, and I had no idea that the book's going to be this size. I had no idea because I really read these in line. Yes, even yes, I did buy this. But here's the thing. Now, from that point forward, I bought the books. I later went back and bought the first 3 books because basically I want to own the entire series because I love this one. Now, I've only done it for one air series, and that was Freya. Why I actually bought that one with, I think it was book, if I remember correctly, I think it was book 5 I bought it with. Yes, but book 5. Same thing with that one. Book 5, book 6 became mysterious and available because for some reasons these books are disappearing. So I bought book 5, 7, the recent stuff. I then went back and bought book 6 and the first 4 books. Yep. But do I think that there should be a season 3? Yes. Do I think JC Staff might do a season 3 for the show? It depends on the committee. Yes. Yes, they just wrapped up this season. They most certainly did. Unless, of course, we're doing part 2, which I haven't heard anything. Yeah, it's been pretty quiet on that front. I mean, the only series I'm watching that's airing out from this studio is Eden Zero. Yes. Do I think that we might get a second half of the series? Yes. I hope so. Because any news related to this particular series, like, yeah, it probably will be renewed for season 3, but who knows? But do I think JC Staff should do it? Yes. Now, one thing I should also mention here is the different studios. Season 1 was not done by JC Staff. You're thinking, really? No, it was done by Production Reed. Yep. And, basically, I could probably think of the reason why they decided, probably maybe not to do the season per se. Because here's the strange thing about the studio who made the first season. They only made 2 other seasons after this one wrapped up. And you're thinking, really? It did? Yes. They made a series called Cutie Honey Universe. And The Tale of Outcast. And that's it. When I Tale of Outcast, that was the first one I did in like about 5 years. Now, the interesting question is why JC Staff picked it up. That's a really good question. Why did they pick it up for that second season? Like, it's a question mark that can easily be answered by the committee who made the series. Now, is the season bad? No, it isn't. I think they skipped over some important stuff. Yes. Like, aside from the two major cuts, I think that the only thing there was a couple of things I felt very disappointed with this season with. Like the fact they apparently couldn't get time to contact Ron Wagner's estate to get the Ride of the Valkyries music, which, by the way, was brought up in this frickin' book. Yes, there was a scene in this book where the king. Now, you probably think, oh, the episode, he only made one announcement. He appeared twice. And the first time to get their attention, he basically came out with the song Ride of the Valkyries. I'm like, excuse me, could JC staff not contact Ron Wagner to get that music? Why? Because it's popular music? Who knows? The only other thing I felt this way, aside from that one small factoid, is there was a scene in the book they actually cut out too, and that was a scene where, because of the fact where Brynhild is, the area is popped by monsters. There was a whole section of a chapter dedicated to seeing these monsters getting slain. The anime decided to excise that for some reason. I do not know why. It's like, oh, he gets his land as a monster. Oh, they got the country now. Okay. That was my only other major disappointment that was cut out, per se. But it's small. But you probably think, was that really important to the story? Not necessarily, but I kind of felt as though that should have been there. But who knows when it comes to that? Anything else? Well, the only other thing that I kind of was very disappointed with, aside from those two mile cuts, was the change of the lead voice actor. I had met the lead voice actor earlier this year, back in January, at Central Park Comic Con. I got him to sign a copy of my DVD copy of the very first season of the show. And then 2 months later, I found this out fairly recently, he outed himself as transgender. I do not know why Josh Grell did this for, but he did. And then for some strange reason, because I think that was the reason why. And then with this season, he's replaced with Bryson Brogus, who, here's something interesting about this guy. He is the voice of Belle Cornell from Is It Wrong to Trapping Up Girls in a Dungeon? And yeah, he's also in Chainsaw Man. He's also in Execution Way of Life. And Mikhail from The Case of Vantos. But it seems like, oh yeah, he was also on Tsume as Kamato Katsu. I think that was also the star of the show. Yeah. So this is the third time I can think of I come across him, but it's strange though. So what, did Crunchyroll contact Sentai Filmworks to get the lead voice actor for Is the Wrong to Girls Dungeon for this particular actor? Yeah, I thought that was kind of weird. They're like, wait, he's the voice of Belle Cornell? Like, okay, so the show's a good one. Alright. Maybe he had free in his schedule. And this is the strange thing. He apparently had, that's what he did with Chainsaw Man, which came out last year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so apparently Josh Crow changed his name to Jesse James. Not sure why. It's like, yeah, this guy is a couple years older than I. Is like 3 years older than I am, and I just feel so disappointed because I really appreciate what the guy has done in his career And this by far was a really dumb idea for him to out himself, but that could have been the reason why he was replaced. I don't know. It's just that they just changed it prior to the start of the season because everyone else came back, no problem. Like everybody, heck, even Sabbath came back for an episode or two of the season, but not the lead voice actor. Oh no! All because he got himself as transgender. I do not know why. It is by far one of the most baffling things. There was nothing, and I repeat, nothing to say the guy was transgender. I never spoke to him about it at all when I met him. Not at all. Oh, as a thing here, I have officially met a handful of the voice actors. Aside from him, I have met Leah Clark, who voices Elsie. Here's the thing about one of the voice actors. The one who voices Linz. Yes. I'm going to be her voice actress in a few weeks. And I'm bringing this to sign for her. Because I'm just so appreciate it. Yes, I've met Sue's voice actor, Sarah, obviously. Oh, so I didn't know this. Because it wasn't really noticeable at all. Apparently, Yamina's voice actor is going to place 2 in season 2. I'm like, really? Yes, with a woman named Castel Perez. Yeah, they replaced her voice actors too. Don't know why. Yeah. I would love to find this out. I'll probably ask Jill Harris about that. Why the heck were these 2 replaced? She might know. Yes, when I meet Jill Harris in a few weeks, I'm going to ask her, why the heck why was the lead voice actor and Yamina replaced? That's a very good question. And aside from this series, when replaced her, she was in a couple episodes of How Realistic with the Kingdom. She was Charlotte Nash in One Piece, and that was it. Yeah, I don't know much about this woman at all, so there's not much to know about her at all. Of course, yes, my lead voice actor, Monica Rial, obviously. I have met Lucia's. Nope, I haven't. Hilgard. Oh, yes. Molly Cersei. I believe this is the same one who voices Akami. Yep, I have met her, so I'm kind of surprised they basically she came on this season. So, yeah, something they haven't announced basically who Sakura voice is interesting. Brittany Kowalski. Yes, I have met her. One of the voices Cheska. Rosita, who appeared in this season. Voyjat Saxton. Nope, have not met her. For Laura, they have not announced who voice acted, but Luda, who voices Monica, one of the other characters in the season. Nope. Laura, nope. The rest of the Terminals, nope. Sabbath, yes, I have met him. The one who plays his wife in the show, never met her. I have met the one who voices Charlotte, Alexis Tipton. I actually got her to sign the copy of this one. Yeah, the subject her character was on the cover. Her character appeared in the season, but her character in this season, there's a good reason why Charlotte's not here, because she's not in these books. That's why. Excuse me. Ogard. I have not actually met Amber Connors. Nope, never met her. Arma. Never Brian Apple. Let's see. The King of Meatsmeat. Bruce L. I've never met him. I haven't met a lot of these voice actors, sadly. Well, the ones been in the show, per se. Yes. But I'd say of the main cast, of course, I met Josh Grell, Leah Clark, Sarah Weinhoff, Monica Rial. Of the main ones? Yes. The one who voiced the Terminals, just Cheska. She's the one I met. And, of course, Sabbath, obviously. So, basically, overall, I've met people who've been on the show. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm thinking so far just 7. So, I'm gonna bring this for Sabbath this time because I'm gonna see his reaction to me bringing this for him this time because he does play a character this season. He plays Sue's father, the Duke. Yeah, I'm gonna get him to sign this because, well, I'm gonna get my copy anyways. Get him and Joe Harris to sign this because why not? I mean, it's not Dragon Ball related because I'm sure he gets tired to see all sign stuff related to Dragon Ball One Piece because I'm sure he gets that a lot. But this series, I don't think like. I'm gonna remind him, like, if you forgot, he's in the series. Yeah, he's in the series because he voices Sue's father. I'm gonna remind him about that. But Jill, yeah, I'm sure she might be very happy to see this one because she just did this one. Yes, probably get just wrapped up today. Who knows? I haven't talked quite a while, but yeah. So that's gonna be pretty much it. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I thought we'd do time, do one more, but actually I'm just gonna go ahead and do another one. I have a comic corner to do, okay? So, thanks for the video. Bye.